Hello, welcome back to the Who Pod. I'm Dan Johnson.
And I'm Yasmine Khan.
Oh, you dick. I knew. I should have seen that one coming.
I mean, my name's Yaz. I'm Yaz. My name is Yaz.
Wow.
Please call me Yaz. When you see me, call me Yaz, not Yasmin. I prefer Yaz, not Yasmin. And don't put an E in
Daniel.
it as well.
I always prefer Daniel.
Don't put an E
My
in
whole
my
name.
name neither.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Daniel. You know when like the popular kids come over and talk to you, like pretending that they care?
Yeah.
They used to come over and be like, "Hi, Yazzie, Yaz," like Yasmin, and I'm like, just great.
Hi, Danny, Dad.
Yeah. Dad, wow.
Dad, yeah. You know, my other nickname, Daddy, Dan. Like that, Daddy.
Daddy Daniel.
Dan.
This took a weird turn.
It did. Should we actually move on? Okay, so this month I am going to be joined by Yasmin, who has been basically forced to talk to me over the last couple of weeks. And she's being forced to do this now, so I suppose it's kind of fitting. Will, I have definitely replaced you this time. So
Sorry, Will.
Sorry, Will.
I didn't have a say in it. I'm being held hostage here over Zoom.
blink twice if you're being kidnapped. Today we're going to be talking about an article that came out recently. You might have seen it. About ranking the doctors, and it was like a poll.
Oh yeah, I wasn't happy with it.
Did you vote in the poll? That's the first question. No,
which is why I probably shouldn't be saying like
I know
I'm not happy with it because I didn't vote.
But the first time I heard about it was that Radio Times did a poll. Also, I don't buy the Radio Times anymore.
Who does?
You know, I thought you would because you're Southern, and that sounds like a Southern.
Oh, because I'm posh. Yeah.
Yeah, like.
And the Daily Mail.
Yeah,
Radio Times.
But you read the Guardian, like. Yeah, and so basically, in the end of what? I don't know what I'm saying, and I'm going to talk for 50 minutes and then cut it down to half an hour. That's generally how this thing goes.
Good plan.
The article talks about what the rankings of the doctors are according to this poll of, you know, like a couple of tens of thousands of people took part in, or probably Radio Times readers that have decided to participate in this thing, and they would vote. I don't know how they voted, but the answers came out. The results came out the other day, and it's time to dissect them, I suppose, in our very unprofessional way.
Yeah, you have to remind me of them.
Should we go from 13 to 1?
Yeah.
Also, where's War? Where's the Peter
Is he not
Cushing
even in
doctor?
it?
He's not in it. Neither's the Peter Cushing doctor, the Rowan Atkinson doctor, or the Morbius doctors. We've got to get them all in there. The Roof doctor isn't in there.
Wow. So it's basically the only people who've had like a series. Film.
Yeah.
But then again, Peter Cushing.
But Peter Cushing has as well.
I still don't know how they got away with that film.
I know. I saw the second one recently, and it was like,
yeah, I need to watch it because it is exactly the same, isn't it, as the William Hartnell episodes?
Yeah, it is. Dalek Invasion is like it is like a 90-minute cut of Dalek Invasion, but with a different doctor and different characters.
How did they get away with it? I
don't know.
If they did that now,
copyright was
they'd be
rubbish.
sued and like copyrighted and everything.
It reminds me of one of those really cheap films. Like there was like Iron Man, and then there was Metal Man, and like it's like one of them.
Yeah.
It's like a fan film.
Captain USA.
Captain USA. Yeah. Okay. So should we go from 13 to 1? So surprisingly, at 13th place is the Fifth Doctor. What? Yes, exactly. With 351 votes, which makes up 1% of the voting.
Oh my god. I would not have expected that.
No.
I'm hearing these rankings for the first time. I only know sort of the top 3 because that's what came up on Twitter.
Yeah.
But my god, he's one of my favourites.
I know.
I would put him like...
I would say he has like the biggest personality. Like I don't know how to describe him per se, but I think that he's just
celery.
Like, he has Caves of Anchazani, and he's got Earthshock and things like that. You know, he's got some really good episodes. So I was surprised to see him that low, especially with Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, ahead of him in 12th place. somehow.
Oh wow.
Because I always thought that we all hated the sick Doctor, especially in his first series, because he was a real a-hole in series 22. He was really horrible to Perry all the time. And there's Twin Dilemma as well. You know, we hate that episode.
I do feel bad for Colin Baker always being low in the rankings.
He's not.
I do feel bad for him, but the whole fandom feels the same way.
He has good stories though. He's not like I've got nothing. You know, he does have some really enjoyable stories. Like I'm currently working my way through Trial, and it's not going very well. I've watched one episode in 3 weeks. But I've watched other things. I need to finish Star Trek before the new series. The Sixth Doctor then is in 12th. I think that maybe these people are more like of a new Who standpoint than a classic Who. Like, if you say to anyone, like, you know, who's your favorite Doctor, likelihood is it's going to be the higher ones.
Yeah.
My internet connection is unstable.
I know, you just sort of frozen me.
Is it going to kill someone? Like, I don't. I'll give it a minute.
It's not mentally stable.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. In 11th place is Sylvester McCoy, like the 7th Doctor, with 462 votes. That's 2% of the voting.
Oh, I mean, I do quite like the 7th Doctor, but I haven't seen enough of his stories to make a sort of proper opinion on it. But I do like his sort of. I think he's a lot more comedic than some of them. He's got that. I think that is Sylvester McCoy himself as well. He has that.
He is like the most extravagant person.
Yeah, that's the word I was trying to think of.
Like he's just bonkers. I think really cool. Like, would you know that thing that they did for the COVID? What was it? And they're all of the doctors are like just sort of in their houses, and then he's in this weird place. Like, how did he get there?
The Five-ish Doctors?
No, there was a special thing that they did when they reunited all the doctors to.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Thank you to the NHS. Yes, of course.
Yeah, that thing.
Oh my gosh!
That was a while ago. You know, remember that COVID thing? I'm so glad that's gone now. That's just months ago.
Oh my God.
McCoy's a good doctor, but he has some really rough stories. And I think that it was getting towards the point when things were getting a bit weird as well for Doctor Who. Like the ratings were down, you know. But I think he's a very good doctor. I think he's very good with Ace. Nice work coughing off screen, but still, like I could see you go, but then you were still close enough to the microphone. I've had worse. I'm so glad that you moved away so that you can cough, because like I've been listening to some videos from these ones that we've done, not with you, but with my other friends, and I've heard burps and things that I don't know why I just haven't cut. I just didn't cut them. I'm at the end of one. I say, "So thank you very much for listening. Will, have you got anything to say?" And he just burps, and I'm like.
So clearly you do podcasts with the professionals.
Yeah, he is fully professional. I have to record his audio myself and sort him out as well. So, you know, I'm basically his parent. So
Daddy Daniel.
That is literally living up to the name.
Daddy Daniel.
Poor Will when he listens to this. I really hope he doesn't. Part of me really doesn't want Okay, and then in 10th place is the 2nd Doctor with 915 votes, which is 2% again.
Oh, I would have put him way further up. I do love him a lot. And I have watched him, I say recently, sort of beginning of lockdown. So I think he's funny. He's very much the classic of Matt Smith in a way.
He is kind of what our Doctor archetype is like now. It's kind of like Space Hobo, kind of like really eccentric. I think it's got more eccentric over time, and he's kind of the beginning of that eccentricity from the first Doctor, which was very stern, to basically a child in an adult's body, which is what the Doctor really is. Yeah,
that's what I really liked about him, because it was a nice contrast from William Hartnell, and you can see that contrast more in the Three Doctors when you've got John Pertwee sort of telling himself off, like sort of behave yourself kind of way to his own self.
He's like the Black Swan in the Three Doctors. Like You don't think, yeah, I think that like just Power of the Daleks by itself, which is, I love that story.
Yes.
Like that story is really good, even
Yeah.
with the crappy animation that last one had. I haven't got the special edition yet, but that crappy animation that the last one had, I still think is gorgeous. Anyway, like the story is
Yeah.
really good. And,
Yeah.
the
It's such a shame that it's still lost. But at least we've got the animation.
I don't actually, with that, this could be a whole different episode, to be honest, but
Yeah.
are the animations worth like more than the actual versions? Because when you look at behind the scenes pictures of Power of the Daleks, you've got not real Daleks, you've got toys, you've got like almost like cardboard
Yeah.
cutouts of.
Yeah. I think I love the animations a lot, but I think especially watching Classic Who now and seeing the way it was filmed and the cardboard cutouts of Daleks and the little models, the toys and everything comes with that fascination of watching old TV shows and Classic Who. So I would still say it was probably worth more than the animations because you've got to see it for that era as well. You're not just watching Doctor Who, you're watching how TV was made in that era.
That's what I find quite interesting about Classic Who. It's not just the episodes, but then watching how it's made kind of thing and the budget and everything.
Yeah, and especially for me at the moment, binging it from the 60s up until the 80s. I know.
What do you hate having spare time, or do you have too much spare time, more like?
Too much spare time now that I'm, not at school.
Unemployed.
This is what I have to do. Yeah, I am employed.
My sister keeps telling people I'm unemployed. I'm not unemployed.
I was going to say, let's bring it back. It is so interesting, sort of, you're almost time traveling through watching classic Doctor Who, because you're going from seeing how things were made in the 60s all the way up until counting the film, the 90s, and it's so interesting to see that transition and how things have developed over time. And we've completely sidetracked. So
this is, I think, going to be a big shock to you, this next one. In number 9, it's a third Doctor.
Really?
Yeah, because I know you're a big fan of the Brigadier, and that kind of
the Brigadier unit stories I absolutely love.
He has 1,038 votes, which is 2% of the voting.
I'm so surprised.
I know. I would have thought he would have been higher, but
yeah, because if you've got original, Classic Who watchers, most of them would have grown up with Pertwee on to Baker. I'm so surprised at that. Oh my gosh,
big surprise with Pertwee there. I've lost track, and there's only 13. Next in 8th place is Christopher Eccleston as the 9th Doctor, which has 1,144 votes.
Oh,
it's because he has one series. That's it. That's why.
The thing is, I recently rewatched a few episodes from series 1, and especially his finale episodes, the Parting of Ways. I forgot how brilliant he is as an actor and how much depth he has as a Doctor, and especially from like an actor's point of view. Just you can sort of, the look in his eyes, you can just see the Doctor. It's he's brilliant. And he's
when I was younger, I was like, what? I don't know, like 10. That feels too old. When I was younger, I went and was kind of a bit skeptical with the 9th Doctor, or what I saw to be the first Doctor at the time, simply because David was just the Doctor to me. He wasn't
exactly
be replaced. So maybe with Big Finish coming out, there might be a surge of people that have kind of avoided it because they see it as, oh, he's done one series, it must have been awful, and then he got replaced with what is arguably one of the better Doctors. Maybe Big Finish could give him some more stories so he can kind of flesh him out, and maybe he can get some more fans. But I always thought he had a lot of fans anyway.
I think it's sad that he never really realized how much he was appreciated as a Doctor back then.
Well, it's a gamble at the end of the day. Was Doctor actually going to succeed?
I think people forget that he was the one who brought, obviously not him himself, but he brought back the show and made it. If it weren't for Christopher Eccleston taking that role, David Tennant would never have come on, Matt Smith never would have come on. So, we owe him a lot for taking up that role. Yeah, we would never have known.
God knows who they would have cast instead.
Gosh, yeah.
Actually, wasn't there a thing about them casting Paul McGann?
Okay. As much as I love Christopher Eccleston, Paul McGann.
Okay.
All I'll
Well,
say is Paul McGann.
well,
Brilliant.
the poll thinks the same. They have put Paul McGann in 7th place with 1,427 votes. This is a
Wow.
lot of maths for me to say quickly. It's not even maths, it's just numbers, which is 3% of the voting. So Paul McGann, whoa, that was a voice break. That was not that's not the computer freaking out. That was actually my voice. Paul McGann, I think, Paul McGann has a really lack of episodes that people watch. Right, the TV movie is good, but I wouldn't say it's like he doesn't get the fair hand like the other doctors do.
No.
Which,
and especially if we're talking, the majority of voters may have not have listened to the Big Finish audiobooks because they are brilliant and they are exactly what he deserves in a series. So I feel like if they've missed out on that and only judging by the movie, then that's probably why he's got no. I feel like.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the 1,427 people are probably just Big Finish fans because he in Ravenous, and I can't say for things such as Doom Correlation and Dark Eyes, but I've been told that they're very good. So I love his Doctor. Definitely. I just think it's great.
Yeah. His voice, his essence, everything. And Night of the Doctor is my favourite thing ever. That in that 8 minutes, he was just captured the Doctor so well.
I would have loved to have seen him as like a mini series or just another movie, but now.
Or even in the 50th, as much as I love John Hurt as well.
Yeah, what was that about?
It is a. And it's sort of a pain.
Why didn't they put
Paul
McGann,
isn't it?
in? Like, well, we're used to it now, but back then I remember going, "You what? This guy's the Doctor."
We've already got a Doctor who's, in the war
thing, that really big war thing.
In that war,
really important.
What was it called? That big war.
The Time War, which is like
big Time War,
which is like the big involvement.
I was trying to say timeline. He's in the Time War timeline. Yeah.
Yes, which is happening right now.
There you go.
I like Paul McGann. He's basically so willing to do everything, and apparently he's a very nice person to meet as well. Somebody that I was quite surprised with being this high on the list is William Hartnell in 6th place. With 1,983 votes, which is 4% of the voting. Which thinks that. So now I don't like the first Doctor that much, if I'm honest. I haven't watched a lot of him. If I'm also honest, I like the 10th Planet, but not that much. Like I think it's good.
I didn't get on with the 10th Planet.
I didn't like. I liked part 1 of Unearthly Child, but I didn't like the others.
Exactly the same. I love part 1.
Dalek Invasion, not bad. Time Meddler, great, things like that. But I think there's a lot of padding which I don't like with that Doctor.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's just it's the format. They didn't think, oh, we'll listen to this and we'll watch it again in 10 years time, whatever. Let alone nearly 60. So I suppose they were just thinking, oh right, well tomorrow it'd be gone, so who cares?
Yeah. No one was recording it or anything.
Yeah,
they didn't have Netflix, so to speak. So
you couldn't get it on iPlayer.
Yeah. I think I find his era was quite slow to watch. It was a struggle to get through.
Oh yeah, because you've watched it.
It was just very slow. Yeah, I've seen all of the available ones. Yeah.
So this is your first. So you haven't actually seen some episodes of things such as the 7th Doctor and things like that yet.
I've seen a few of the 4th Doctor and Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
Before my marathon, I've seen the 5 Doctors, and I can't remember what it's called, but I have one 7th Doctor story on DVD, which I completely forgot I have.
Oh my god, that's your collection.
Yeah, and cannot remember watching it for the life of me. So
you can put it on that one shelf in your room, your box.
Yeah, my tiny little room, just one. Yeah, but it's the Doctor Who Files cover. It's not the nice ones. I know. I didn't care about them. I just wanted the DVDs.
The like the first Doctor was slow, and yes, I think that. But I think to a lot of people, he is like the image of the
Yeah.
Doctor. Not
Yeah.
me personally, but you know, like to some people, he's the image.
He had his moments. He had his good moments, I'll admit. There were some funny moments and there are some iconic moments.
I'm
But
sure
overall-
David Bradley is, you know, he can
Well,
do some good stuff with that.
Mm.
And then we come into fifth place, which is ironically filled with the fourth Doctor. That's not irony, is it? That's just like, is it irony? Don't look at me like that. You gotta help me out here, Mrs. I got a bloody A star in English.
I got a B actually.
Oh well. Oh right, excellent.
What
You're clearly not qualified.
No. Oh dear. Is it irony? I don't know.
I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah.
So it's the fourth Doctor, which you know has some great Genesis of the Daleks for one, season 12. You know, and is like to me has such a big personality and all of that. He got nearly 4,000 votes to be exact. He got 3,977 votes, and that's 8% of the voting. You know, the scarf, it's an iconic costume, an iconic
scarf, the
Doctor.
hat, jelly babies.
I'm surprised he's not higher.
Yeah,
but,
especially as he is the sort of base for the new Doctors, especially David Tennant, who grew up with Tom Baker and sort of has, I think he has said in a few interviews that he's mainly based it off Tom Baker. And even when watching his series, you can see a lot of Tom Baker.
I
you
see
can
a
see
lot
a lot
of
of
Tom Baker in the fifth Doctor with the celery.
And
in the 11th Doctor with the bow ties. It's kind of, it brought on the gimmick, and the Doctor could just be more than just an old guy. Like, he could have like this kind of young characteristics, but then with the old sort of memory and you know things like that. Speaking of young people trapped in old brains, we have number 4, which is Matt Smith with 7,637 votes, which is 16%. God, that's double Tom Baker there.
Yeah,
16%.
I would have thought he'd be at least 1 or 2 places higher, because I feel like the current generation of Who fans would probably have grown up with, I mean, I did. I sort of grew up with David Tennant on catch up every now and then.
I have literally
watching Matt Smith
from
the very beginning up until now. I've missed him. Oh.
Hang on, it's gone weird. You were saying?
What was I saying?
Oh,
I was saying that that I think that's why Christopher Eccleston sort of missed out on a few of the votes, because most of the current generation of fans grew up with David Tennant and Matt Smith. So I sort of feel like they just missed Christopher Eccleston's era. So that's why I'm surprised that Matt Smith is that low. But perhaps people didn't like his series as much.
And by the way, you can work out what you're saying. It's just a little bit like it kind of dips in quality. It goes on from sounding all right to you kind of sounding a bit funny, and you've just gone back to normal now. You've just said one word. So
great.
For me, I think that the fifth Doctor, flipping hell, I think that the 11th Doctor was the Doctor that kind of inspired a lot of younger people to watch Doctor Who. You know, the kind of Matt Smith flamboyancy, and I think it got really big. Series 5 did really well in America definitely. And stuff like that. So because I don't know why, whether this is true, but I always feel like Series 5 was when the show kind of escalated from being one thing and became a different thing, which sold well.
Yeah.
And then jumping into our top 3 with Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor.
I'm happy with that.
Are you happy with that? Okay, I'm going to keep jumping because I haven't got much to say about that neither. You know, I agree with that, to be honest. And then we have Jodie Whittaker, the 13th Doctor, in second place with 10,423 votes, which is 21% of the voting. He's telling it all right now.
I
hate it.
I've been careful what I say, because I know that a lot of people who love Jodie to the point of destroying those who don't.
Yeah. Maybe that's just them. That's 10,000 people that are basically just them.
Yeah. I can't even put into words how much I was insulted by that. Just there were so many other doctors that made far bigger impact.
Yeah.
We have 12 other doctors that should have been in second.
Well, if it's based on companions, then it should be at the bottom.
Wish I could see what other people see in her. I've got nothing against Jodie Whittaker whatsoever. I just can't see the Doctor in her at all. I don't see
it.
Any of Doctor
I see the crazy
Who in series 11 or 12 anymore.
But
there are moments. I admit there are moments, but I've yet to. I've to have that moment where I go, "That's a Doctor. That's a Doctor right there." Because it takes a while for a new regeneration to sort of become the Doctor. It takes because there's always that transition phase of you're mourning the previous one.
You're in the state of mourning.
You immediately don't like them because you're replacing. Yeah.
Okay.
You immediately don't like them, and then a few episodes later, you fall in love, and they have a moment. I won't go into each Doctor's moment because it's going to take forever.
Yeah, please.
But there's always a moment when I'm watching, I'm like, there he is. Yeah, I'm like, there he is. That's the Doctor.
There's the Doctor. I think a lot of that is to do with the production of the series at the minute. It's things such as the music. You know, there's no Murray Gold theme back in this Doctor. You know, speeches like the speech in The Haunting of Villa Diodati would be awesome if they put some Murray Gold kind of flair into it. But
she's definitely had potential moments, but the writing, the lack of music, the lack of atmosphere just let it down.
But a lot of people clearly do like her, which I think is, you know, good to them. Because, you know,
which I'm glad because young girls, people like me who don't like it, I will still watch it. But I will watch it, but I need people to love it so the show continues. So I'm glad people are still loving it.
Like I think I like
loving it, so I have to
as like a design and as an idea, but I don't think that she's always got the execution. Like I like the Witchfinders. I find that a bit of a guilty pleasure, that episode. I think it has issues, but I think I quite like it. And you know, Kablam and things like that. I didn't say Kablam right, did I? Kabam.
You did say it right.
Oh, I did it right. Okay, never mind then.
You said it right. You said Kablam.
I said it correctly, and it's on recording.
Yeah.
I'm going to show that to
everyone. Yay.
I said it correctly. With on recording. And I don't.
The first and most likely the last time.
That has taken weeks to master. To say.
No, quick move on before you say it wrong.
I'm going to shut up. Okay, let's move on to different Doctor. I'm glad that a lot of people like her, but like she's not for me. To the next Doctor. Have you been paying attention? Who wins?
David Tennant.
Oh yeah, you've bloody seen it, haven't you? I forgot.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, have you been paying attention? Who's left? But no, she knows. Yes, in tenth place. In first place, it is the 10th Doctor with 10,518 votes, which means that they both basically have 21% of the voting. Wow. Wait, they're quite even.
David and Jodie have. I'm so taken aback by that.
Just under 100, I think, between them. But obviously, you know, people that are Doctor Who fans at the minute are going to be Jodie fans at the minute. It's like when people stop watching Doctor Who, they stop watching Doctor Who because their doctors left. You know, things like that. They won't be participating in this thing.
I think it's obvious that David Tennant's number one. I think he will always be number one. I mean, he is the Tom Baker of New Who, I think. I think Tom Baker's always going to be everyone's favourite from Classic. Especially for those who grew up with it, and I think David Tennant will always be the top, no matter who comes in and who, if they're better, even if they beat him. I think in everyone's hearts he will always be the top one.
He is the Doctor. Like I was watching End of Time, I think it was yesterday. Absolutely, it's still good, even though it's a little bit soap opera. This brings me on to my last question. So, you're just waiting for me to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, I did a dramatic pause, but I've realised that it wasn't very dramatic. Okay, so we've talked about this ranking, but I want to know, is it actually possible to rank the doctors?
No,
Is it truly possible? Because on
I've thought
Instagram,
about this a lot.
I see things saying that they
Yeah.
think that Jodie Whittaker's the best doctor, and then the comments like to tell them that they're wrong. Um,
Yeah,
like they like to
I think
put
it
them
is.
down as hard as they can to just say you're wrong because your opinion is wrong. Wait, hang on. You know,
Yeah,
like it doesn't make sense on those lines. I suppose that there will never be a definitive list.
no, I
But that's
think
like
it
most
is
things.
impossible to rank them because every fan has a different reason why their doctor is their favorite,
Yeah,
and it's normally on a personal
context.
level.
Mm.
So it's either who you grew up with, who you connected to most, who you sort of was there for your time in need or something. People have different attachments and different reasons for why their doctor is their favorite, and I think that's why it's going to be completely impossible to
Yeah,
ever rank them officially
yeah.
because everyone's reasons are different. People might love Jodie because she's the first female doctor. It's iconic. She just has that charisma that appeals to some people, whereas people might not like her for the opposite reasons. And people might like Capaldi because he brings back a bit of classic. He's older. He's sort of
Yeah.
grumpier. Maybe people like that sort of nostalgia from William Hartnell.
See, I was
And
pessimistic
yeah,
about 12 to begin with. Really was.
me
Like,
too.
really
Me too.
was. And when it
It
came
was
out that his first word was shush, I was like, oh, God,
yeah,
they're going back to Hartnell.
yeah.
I don't really like
It
Hartnell.
was
I
it
think
was a big
love
leap. I think it was
Hartnell.
a risky leap to go from childish, extravagant sort of Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi as a very grumpy doctor. Although he did warm eventually.
Mm.
It was, and obviously a much older doctor.
Yeah, like
No offense,
season
Peter
10.
Capaldi.
Season 10.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be it, I reckon. If you
Oh,
don't have anything else left to say.
no, I think I've said all there is to say.
Yeah, you said probably too much.
Yeah,
This went on for too long.
You should have known I chat too much.
Do so it 6-hour bloody call. What time is it? 2:30? Don't care.
Yeah, I'll go on for days about Doctor Who. Once you start, I'm never going to stop.
No.
Unless you hang up, that's the only way you're going to stop me.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you did enjoy this. Who is your favourite Doctor? But let's keep it civil in the comments because otherwise I will start World War Blood and 3. Got Blood and 3. World War Bloody 3. And it will be bloody. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you did enjoy it. And I will see you next time. Oh, by the way, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been great. I've really enjoyed it.
So thank you very much for listening, and I shall see you soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.